Well, a lot of the cool kids were booing Cody at the end of his AEW run. And I think that's
mm.
interesting now to look back on. Like, you know, what is it that AEW fans were turning on Cody for that WWE
Oh,
fans were like,
I
yeah,
can
we're good
answer
with
that.
that.
I can answer that
Okay.
straight off the top of my head. AEW fans are far more cynical and far more I'm going to say judgmental
Okay.
of the program and the performers
Mm-hmm.
than WWE audiences. So you forget like we're in it, right? Well,
Yep.
sort of. So we might not see that anymore, but to the middle of the road fan who is the majority of the audience for WWE, like they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they don't care about any of it. But AEW fans, they care and they
Yeah.
know what's going on backstage and they make it a point to know that it's going on backstage, and they're harder to impress. That's why it's such a
Mm-hmm.
different show, because they're harder to impress. They got to work harder. WWE can go out, and even when Raw was at its worst, it was still 3 hours of TV that the people that complained about it the most watched religiously.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like for the most people, they don't care. So, but
Well,
AEW, they know and they care. That's
here's
not a
what I
knock on
think.
anyone.
Well, yeah, no, it's just different things. It's just different audiences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure lots watch both, but
Oh yeah.
um, one way I've summed it up before is in WWE, say Shotzi is your favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
And you watch a match and Shotzi has a match and it's not very good. She botches a bunch of moves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Shotzi's still going to be your favorite wrestler because you like her
Yeah.
because she comes out in a tank and she says cool stuff
Yeah.
and whatever. But if you put maybe, and I'm not saying that Shotzi is a bad wrestler or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but
No,
say
she's
like
great.
you put Shotzi in AEW and she has a bad match or whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
AEW fans are going to be on her for that, right?
Yes.
Whereas
Yes.
that's going to be less prevalent from the WWE fans.
Yes. To put it
Yeah.
in chanting parlance, you are much less likely to hear like "you fucked up." You fucked up
Yeah.
when someone
Yeah.
botches a move in WWE. You might hear a
Mm-hmm.
scattered little bit of it,
Mm-hmm.
but at AEW, like it would be everyone. They'd be
Yeah.
right in there because they know the cues, right? So, and it's
have
just a matter. It's kind of like ECW fans back in the
yeah.
day. The
Yeah,
ECW audience
absolutely.
was totally different from everything
Yeah.
else that was happening, and part of that was by design, but part of it was also just the passion of the fans and the level of interest that they have in the product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think ECW fans is a good way to sum it up. But I have noticed that there are more fans now
Mm-hmm.
than there used to be at AEW events who kind of act like they're WWE fans a little bit.
Hmm.
And the telltale sign is the what chance.
Yeah.
If you get what chance, those are fans who aren't, yelling things
With
on
it.
Twitter or ICQ or whatever the kids are on these days.
MSN,
Right?
I believe.
Yeah, MSN. And my theory is the what chance prove the existence of the casual fan. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you go on any like wrestling Reddit or whatever, and it's like, oh, I hate the what chance. They're so annoying. And like everybody agrees, yeah, we hate the what chance. Okay, then who is saying all the what chants? If
What?
everybody hates them, who's doing them?
Well,
So,
I think I've told this story before about the time that I went to see the WCW in
yeah.
Toronto, and I was sitting there, and they were playing Goldberg's music, and you could hear
Oh, yeah.
Goldberg, Gold, and I'm looking around, and nobody that I can see is saying the words Goldberg. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's part of the music. Weird.